to the Veloce Podcast. We've got a very special guest today, a young karter who's just turned 12 called Ty Cuthbert. He is a multiple winner and champion, and he's working his way up the ranks. So we thought we'd give a little interview and give an insight into what he is and what he's about and what's driving him to his success so far.
Absolutely. Welcome, Ty.
Welcome, Ty. So how are you, first of all?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well. We're enjoying the sunshine. So, that's finally come.
Summer's arrived at last.
Absolutely. So we're loving the background, by the way. That looks great. So
Thank you.
So karting and racing, does that come in the family? I mean, has your dad done it or family done it?
No, we've just been fans for all my life. I mean, my dad's dad, he's been a motorsport fan, and my dad was. And when I was younger, I used to go to drag races. I used to go to motorsport events, and I loved it. So it's kind of like in my blood from my grandpa, in a way.
Yeah. So you started karting indoors at 8 years old? Is that right?
Yeah.
So why did you love it straight away? Did you catch the bug immediately?
Yeah, it was weird because I went on my first session and I came off and my dad said, "Did you enjoy the session?" And I said, "I absolutely loved it." And I finished the second session, and then as soon as I finished that session, I said to my dad, "Can we come next weekend?" And then it's basically just carried on from there, karting, and obviously in the background you can see as I did outdoor karting, I think 2 years after I did indoor.
Yeah. So when you did indoor then, was that like a proper championship? You could do a proper indoor championship before moving to outdoor?
About 6 months in indoor karting, I did the British Indoor Karting Championships, which it was kart champs. I came third there out of the whole country, wasn't it? So that was quite an achievement.
Yeah.
And then obviously fast forward to a few years' time, obviously last weekend I came second in the regional finals of the British Indoor Karting Championships. So it's kind of nice to see my progression over time, to see how I started as a novice and now I've got my way to a pro. It's quite nice to see that progression.
So you're still racing indoor and as well as outdoor then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And do you notice, I mean, I did predominantly outdoor karting. Obviously, I'm a lot older than you, so we're going back a bit here. But I, like you, started initially, the introduction was indoor. Did you find any differences between indoor and outdoor with like the style, the way you drive? Was there any transition?
Yeah, so indoor you have barriers around the kart. Outdoor you don't have any barriers. Indoor it's only Honda compared to like outdoor. You can have loads of different classes. You can have Miami, which is 2-stroke, Hondas, Rotax, which I'm doing junior Rotax this year. So it's quite different, and the way you drive the karts is quite different to indoor, because when I got my first ever kart, I was driving it like I was in the Honda, which is totally wrong. I needed to be more smooth, later braking, and it came over time, and I'm still learning now. So
yeah, of course. So you're now moving up to junior max. So you were doing cadets before that. So how much testing have you done in the junior max?
I've only done a day of testing in the junior Rotax.
Okay, and what did you think?
They're very fast. They're totally different to the Mini Rock, which is in the background there. Yeah. It's just the whole car. It's different. You need to be later on the brakes, because the brakes are different in the junior Rotax. The steering, like when you turn in, it can be a bit different in a way to a Mini Rock, and which is like an Miami.
Yeah.
But it's totally different. Obviously, the kart's way bigger than the 950 chassis behind me.
Yeah.
But overall, it's quite a fun class to do.
Absolutely, and very competitive as well, isn't it? So I guess there's going to be a lot of people on the grid trying to beat you, I suppose.
For UKC, there's 50 entries for junior Rotax.
Yeah.
So will you have like an A, B kind of
Yeah.
that kind of final. So if we go back to your first year outdoor, then am I right in thinking you won the Winter Series championship?
Yeah, it was quite nice to win a championship, only being an absolute novice, just getting used to the kart.
Yeah.
It was nice, and obviously the whole series was wet, so that's given me more confidence in the wet now, because at Walton Mill, when I was testing the junior road tax, it was raining, and that gave me more confidence from 2019, was it now? Wow, quite a long time ago to think about. But yeah, it's nice to have the experience of being a winter champion to being in a 75 miles an hour kart in the wet.
Yeah, absolutely. So did that change your belief then? So you became champion. Did that give you an extra boost in your belief in that you can do it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the first round it was raining, I went straight over to my dad and said, I don't want to do this. He said, just give it a try, Ty, and see if you like it. I come off and I'm like, it's all right. It's not my fan favourite.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, I started getting used to it and I started liking it. I mean, Valra, I'm going to have to get used to it.
Yeah.
It's just rain, Cumbria, just rain. First ever time I went there in the mini rock, it was absolutely banging it down.
Yeah.
And I was like, tiptoe. And at one time I got on the throttle to Ollie and I was like, I was Tokyo drifting.
Which is still fun, but not the quickest way round, I suppose.
Yeah, it was scary, fun, but not the quickest way round.
Yeah. But it probably taught you a lesson that you've got to face things you don't really want to do to get through things, to get where you want to be. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Which, like many champions, they have to do. They have to push themselves, don't they?
Yeah.
So up to date then, this might have to push your memory a bit. How many races have you won now?
Oh, well, I won the whole Winter Series but one, which was the final round, so that's 3. I've won one at fullback, haven't I? Yeah, I was vice champion. Yeah. That's quite a lot. You'll say a lot. Indoor, I've got, just like you behind you, I've just got a whole stack of indoor trophies and outdoor.
Yeah. So let's say you've won lots and lots then. Should we go with that?
Let's go with that. That's right. Yeah. Don't worry about numbers.
So what's your aim this year? So obviously you're moving up around junior road tax. Actually, that's what I did. Because they did, in my day, they had mini max as well. And then they had junior max. Do they still have mini max?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've got a brand new class, which is like a cadet of road tax, a micro max class, which I would have done if I was a bit smaller in size.
Yeah. So it's better for you to go straight in to junior because you feel you'd be more competitive that way.
Yeah.
So what's your aims this year then? Obviously you're in juniors. It's a kind of new series. What would you say your aim is?
Well, this year's a learning curve, so just get as much seat time as possible. And this class can go up to 16 years of age, so I've got quite a long time to go. So I think this year's a learning curve. Obviously doing UKC. Next year it might be a bit more competitive. I'll still be learning, but I'll probably be going for them wins and podiums.
Yeah.
But definitely this year, take it easy, get used to the kart, the chassis, because it's new chassis, new kart, getting as much seat time as possible, and then next year hopefully I can challenge harder.
Yeah. And do you have your own team, Typhoon Racing? Is that your team?
It's in a way it's a team, but it's like a little brand, and I've got a water bottle here.
I thought that said Ty on it.
Okay. Yeah, hold it still a sec. If you hold it still, we can see it. I think just about. Yeah. Okay. It's showing the background, you see.
Yeah, it's quite hard with the background, but massive shout out to Garage29 for doing us that bottle.
Yeah, well done. That's it. Get your sponsors in. No, that's great. So what's your favourite kart circuit then?
Oh, Rowra in Cumbria, Larkhall, which I'm going to this year, so let's see if that's a fan favourite. PFI.
Yeah.
There's a GYG. And there's another track which I've been to. can't remember its name now. There's another one on the list which I like.
They're all quite different though, aren't they? Those tracks you've named, they're all quite different styles, aren't they? Of circuits.
Yeah.
Like Rowers very different to PFI, for example. And so there's not a certain style of track that you prefer over others.
No, it's totally different. I mean, you see F1, BTCC, different evolution change, you know. If you like one track and you're good at that track and you go to another track, it shows that you like the track, but it's just that track which you always want to go to. I like mixing my tracks up.
Yeah.
Any track I go to, I'll be happy, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your favourite thing about karting then?
The adrenaline, the speed, and the competitiveness.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the family sport too. It's friendly. It's not like, oh, you smash my son off, you need to be, you know, banned or something. It's all nice and friendly. Because when I started, we were struggling with like the engine and that, and people came over and helped us with the engine.
Yeah.
And it was nice to show that family support and friendly support. And I've made a lot of friends over these last few years of just karting.
Yeah, I think that's so important and a good point, because when I did karting, as I went up the ranks, it became less friendly, and I think it's a shame because it's so important to have that support network, and I think it means you enjoy it more on the track together and have more respect for one another as well on the circuit as well. So yeah, totally agree with that. So so what how do you get ready for a race? Is there like a little like routine you do?
Well, before a race, I normally stretch my arms and legs. I just sing in my head to calm me down a bit, because sometimes I get nervous on the grid.
Yeah.
So I just and then I close my eyes for about a second, get in the zone, just like do a little tour of the track in me and my go-kart in my head.
Okay.
And just be confident. That's what I think, because if you're over exaggerating it, saying, oh no, I've got a grid of 34 and oh no, you know, that's just going to put your confidence from there to about there. So you need it to be there and stay there, because that's what I've learned over the years. Keep your confidence as normal as it is. Think positive, never think negative. So if you think negative, your mindset is just going to think, oh, well, I'm not going to do well this race. It's the opposite. You need to say, I'm going to do good this race, I'm going to get a good result, and I'm going to do it.
Absolutely. And has anybody taught you that, or have you learned that from like looking up to other drivers, for example?
Well, the zone, me getting in zone, I learned that from my old coach in Miami. And the rest I've just learned it from other drivers and some of it by myself.
Sure. So do you like to work on the kart yourself? I mean, are you quite mechanically minded? Do you enjoy that side of it?
Yeah, I do help my dad, especially with the sprocket, you know, getting the tyres on, taking them off. I just like spannering. It's quite nice to show that it's going to help me when I'm in the future, when I need to find a job and I know how to work a car.
Absolutely. And I think it also helps your feedback, you know, because if you really understand the workings of it, you know, as you go up through the ranks and you need to say, right, this is happening. If you actually understand how the car or kart works, it will help you so much. So obviously you're doing a lot of karting, and that I know is very, very physical, incredibly physical. How do you deal with the fitness? Do you do any like fitness prep, or are you just race fit because you've done a lot of it?
I do a lot of fitness training. It's hard, but on track it doesn't look hard. It looks quite easy from spectator view. But when you're in the kart, you need to be physically prepared. You know, you can't just sit down and say, right, I've got a race tomorrow, I don't need to train, I can just sit down and do whatever. I train for about an hour or two a day.
Really?
Just getting ready for every race. Doesn't matter if it's tomorrow, even if it's next month, I'll still prepare and train.
Yeah, that's so good. Such a good routine to be in. And what sort of training do you do? Do you do like weights and running and like a real mix?
I do all sorts. I go on my bike, I do weights, I do press ups, sit ups, I do all sorts. I do running, jogging, whatever.
Excellent. Well done.
Cool.
Well done. So have you already got your eye on moving into cars? I know obviously at the moment, you know, you've got your junior max, you're focusing on karts, but is there an eye kind of focusing ahead on cars next?
There is a bit of an eye focusing on GSCC, which I've been doing. I've been doing the tester days.
Yeah.
There's an eye on that. Then there's also an eye on Genettas, which is very expensive, but I'd love to do.
Yeah.
Maybe even Porsche, like mini Porsches, if that's a thing, like junior Porsches.
Yeah.
Definitely love to do that. I think when I'm about 14, when I'm legally allowed to get in a car, I think that's when my eyes will properly be set on cars.
Yeah.
At the moment, I've got some eyes on cars, some eyes on single seaters, but at the moment, just focusing on karting and then everyday
Good idea.
tickets.
Focus on plan A. But it's good to have that in mind of where you want to go to in the future. And obviously things like what's great now is you can move up at a much younger age, like you said, like junior Genettas and things, and so you don't have to wait so long. So if you got the opportunity and you want to move on, then at least you can. So what would you say your ultimate goal is? So obviously we know you're doing your junior match, and we know you obviously want to get into cars, but what's the ultimate goal?
British Touring Car Championship. If I get to F1, a miracle. But my ultimate goal is British Touring Car Championship.
Okay, and why is that?
Well, the grids are more packed and the fans are more engaged than F1. So you can actually you can walk on the grid, talk to the drivers, have photos. It's just more family friendly British touring cars compared to F1. It's kind of like trainer, driver, that's it.
Yeah.
With British touring cars, everyone's involved. It's a nice family sport, and that's the thing I like. Talking to people who I don't know but I talk to.
Yeah.
It's like just getting that good connection. So in the future, if they say, "Oh, Ty will back you or sponsor you to get to this if you want to do it," then that'll be a miracle. But yeah.
Yeah. And I do think, BTCC gets an amazing amount of exposure, and also in the junior ranks that support that championship. So if you said like BTCC is your aim, then what junior classes would you like to do to get to it?
Well, if we get a miracle, Genettas. Because that is quite expensive. And then maybe a few years in that, see how old I am. F4. Or if I stay down the car route, it would be mini challenge because they're quite aggressive. I've seen it on telly. They're quite aggressive. But if it was like Genettas F4, then see where I am in F4 and then probably move on into the future.
Well, I think both of those are great. I mean, Lando Norris, he did junior Genettas, before single seaters and things, and I think it's a very well respected route. So is there any other types of racing you'd like to do? So obviously you've got your circuit racing that we're talking about, but is there anything else like rallying or sprinting, or is there anything else that you'd love to, if you had the opportunity, you'd love to have a go at it?
GT.
Oh yeah.
British GT. That'll be one. Because that I watch it on telly. It's just the endurance and the fitness level which you need to be at. It's quite intense in a way because the team has to get the pit stop on point before the next car team comes along. So British GT.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are your favourite drivers then? Have you got any real favourites that you support?
Michael Crace. He's an absolute legend, Michael Crace. I've got Andrew Jordan. Ash Sutton. Johnny Edgar, good friend of mine in F3. Checo from Red Bull.
Of course.
Christian Horner. Michael Schumacher.
So there's a big list.
Lando Norris.
So pretty much everybody then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And is there anybody you look up to and you think, I really want to be like them? Whether it's in the car or kart or out.
For single seaters, probably Johnny Edgar because he's made quite a big transition from F4 to F3. And his rookie career is going quite well so far.
Yeah.
Touring cars, Creasy, definitely. He's one of those who'll take time and speak to people. He's not one of those who'll be like, right, signature, right, thank you, I'm off.
Yeah.
He'll take time, he'll talk. Definitely Billy Monger too.
Yeah.
Billy Monger. I went to F3 the first time back from Donington for him.
Yeah.
And we were just talking for 15 minutes. He's a nice lad, Billy.
Yeah.
He's a very nice lad.
Yeah, and he's been through a lot. For anybody that doesn't know, he's the one that unfortunately lost his legs from a serious accident and came back, and and he now has hand controls, doesn't he, to race the car. So he's had to adapt a lot. But you're right, he's had a lot of support,
isn't he?
And absolutely. I think he's great for young drivers to prove whatever happens, and things could be against you, you can still achieve it. I think that's a really, really good point. So now we found out obviously lots about you, we thought we'd do a little quiz, if that's okay with you.
Okay, no pressure here then.
You're gonna love this.
Now I kind of wish I'd done more BTCC questions, but I'm afraid more of them are F1. But there are a few BTCC. Just see how you get on.
Yeah.
See how you get on, and we'll see what your knowledge is like. You've got plenty of time, so there's no timer on this. So I'm going to pass you over to Rich, and Rich is going to ask the questions, all right?
Are you ready?
Yes.
So, since 2010, how many different Formula One World Champions have there been?
3.
Good.
Yay!
And who are they?
Right.
Sebastian Vettel, Nico Rosberg, and Lewis Hamilton.
Perfect.
Hey, well done. Good start. Well done.
Who is the youngest driver in Formula One currently?
I'll
give you a clue. He's new.
Mick Schumacher.
No.
I got this wrong, and I got asked it.
It's Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. That's,
there you go. You didn't think of him, did you?
That was my reaction. I said Latifi.
And he's like 30 or something.
I know. I got it massively wrong. At least you were closer than me.
Okay, question 4 then. How many British drivers are there in Formula One currently?
George Russell. I want to say there's one more, but I think that's it. 3?
Yeah.
Yay. Well done.
And you named them then when you were talking to yourself.
Well done.
Right, where are we? Number 5. What is Carlos Sainz's dad famous for?
Rallying.
Correct.
Well done. Hey, see, so you've
You're
got
all
one
over
right.
this.
Yeah, you're on this.
Yeah.
I was going to say drifting, but I knew it was rallying.
Yeah, rallying. Yeah, he was World Rally Champion. So number 6 then. What is Lewis Hamilton's engineer called?
Pete Bonington.
It is.
Hey, well done.
Number 7. Now this is going to be the edge of your knowledge here. Who was the last driver to win the World Championship for Ferrari?
It was Kimi Räikkönen.
It was.
Yay, yeah, 2007.
Now this is your dad's fault, this next question.
We're going quite far
We're going a long way back
now.
Who was the first person to win the World Championship for Lotus?
Colin Chapman.
Close.
Try again, one more.
I want to say Ayrton Senna.
No, he's a little bit earlier than that.
It was Jim Clark.
Jim Clark.
Oh, Jim Clark.
But to be fair, I had to think about that, and obviously that's long before you were born. So bit of a mean one, that one.
Okay, BTCC question then.
Okay.
Which former, so ex Formula One driver has got a BTCC team?
Which ex-Formula One driver has a BTCC team?
Yeah, he's really old.
He's not that old. To you, he'll be old, but so he doesn't race in BTCC himself.
No, he did last year.
Oh, he did, yeah. He did.
He did last year.
And he wasn't great at it.
Oh, who left the sport this season? trying to think who left the sport because you've got quite a lot of drivers, and there's an F1 driver.
Think more towards. I know this is no disrespect to this person, but think more towards the back of the grid.
But he had a really big sponsor.
This is hard. This. So did he leave the sport this year?
Yes. So he went from driving in it to running the team, or partly running the team, I think. So the team's still in it.
There's a lot of teams in.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he does like a I think he has like an academy, doesn't he, for drivers? Supports a lot of
manages
drivers.
And things,
Yeah, manages drivers and things.
Do we put you out your misery?
I want to say Tony Gillan.
No.
Oh no, he didn't leave the sport last year.
No, he's not left the sport. He's still involved. He's just not driving.
Oh. Oh wait, no. No, 'cause he moved in 2013, didn't he?
Shall I say the first name and see if you can?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first name is Mark.
Mark Blundell.
Yay!
I thought he left the sport in 2019.
Yeah, but he did it last year. But and he was at the back. Bless him. Because he was a very good Formula 1 driver and he won Le Mans and stuff like that. So, anyway, where are we now? So, number 10. Which team did Sergio Perez drive for in his first year?
Sauber.
He was.
Yay! Well done.
Number 11. Then, what year did Max Verstappen make his debut?
2015.
He did.
Well done.
And who did he drive for?
Toro Rosso.
Toro Rosso.
You did better than me because I said 2016.
That's when he joined Red Bull and won his first ever Grand Prix in Spain.
Yeah.
How many Grand Prix has Daniel Ricciardo won? This is a tricky one.
I want to say 3.
I think you said 3, didn't you?
Yeah.
No, it's 7. He's won more than you think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know. I was shocked by that too. When I got home, I thought it was a low number.
Yeah, no, he's won quite a lot. So number 14 then. Which is the longest track in Formula 1?
This is hard.
In the current calendar.
Yes.
Yeah. This is hard. This is hard. But we can give you a clue in a minute.
Yeah.
Is it Azerbaijan?
That's very close because that's the second longest.
So I'll give you a clue. It's most drivers say that it's their favourite track. When they get asked, what's your favourite track to race?
Longest. Can't think of a longer track. Oh, Belgium.
Yeah.
Correct.
Spa.
Correct. Spa. Well done.
Okay. 15 then. So there's 10 Formula 1 teams. How many of them are in the UK? You have to do what Kat did now and think about who they all are.
And I missed one out. Or 2 out, I think.
Who's Aston Martin?
I feel like we've put him under loads of pressure now.
I'm gonna say Williams, McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what was it? Aston Martin.
Yeah. That's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
It says 2 more.
3 more.
Oh, is there?
3. Yeah.
There is?
Oh, Red Bull.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
just one left, which
One
I
left.
also didn't get.
To give you a clue, they were called something else last year.
And then they changed their livery and name.
I think I've already said Aston Martin, haven't I?
Yeah.
You have. There's another one who changed their name.
And had a big name return to the sport.
Oh, Haas.
No.
Alpine.
Oh,
Alpine.
they were British.
Yeah, they're based in.
Well, they're not.
Not far from Silverstone,
They're
really.
not British, but they're based in Silverstone. I know it's surprising how many teams are based at Silverstone. You wouldn't think, would you? So many are based there. I was surprised by that as well.
Okay, now this a bit out your window. This one. Which driver has won the most Monaco Grand Prix?
Oh, it was on the telly the other day on the diagram.
Yeah.
Well, as a clue, he's probably one of the biggest names ever.
Yeah. Legend of the sport.
Oh, Michael Schumacher.
Close.
Who else before that was the legend of the sport?
Ayrton Senna.
There you go. Back to old people in the British Touring Car Championship.
Okay.
Who has won the most BTCC races?
He still races now. So he's obviously an older
Jason
guy.
Puerto.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
it. You got it.
There's not many left now, don't worry.
We're making you work hard for this time.
So again, old question. How many times was Fernando Alonso world champion?
2.
2,
Yeah.
correct.
Absolutely.
And do you know who he was driving for?
Was it Ferrari?
Think
it
again.
wasn't, no.
Think again. Think before that. Before Ferrari.
Oh, Renault.
Renault,
That's
yeah,
it.
where he is now. And the final question. Which country has the most Formula One world champions?
I want to say Germany.
That's what you said, didn't you?
I said Germany, yeah.
Think nearer to home.
Yeah. Think a lot nearer to home.
British.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've
so
had 10 of them.
we've had 10 UK world champions. So we've actually had more world champions than anybody else in Formula One,
We have.
which really shocked me, actually, I have to say.
So there
Well
you go.
done. Good
Brilliant.
stuff.
I think you did well there.
You did really well.
We
What
made
was
you
that?
think.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
what?
definitely.
So what's that? Out of 20, what got 2 wrong?
I
Is
think you
it?
got 2 wrong,
2
yeah.
wrong. So I think that's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible.
Wow.
So because of that, what we thought we'd do is, if you want to, I gave you obviously a very little tour on video of Porsche.
Yeah.
To bring you down to Porsche and show you around, take you out in the different cars. So it can take you out on a GT2 RS, GT3 RS, do a bit of drifting, launch controls, track stuff, and show you some of the history as well, race cars, all that kind of thing. So as a prize for getting almost all of the questions right. What do you think about that?
Hey, thank you so much. I'm bursting to try that out now.
So when we can, we'll work it out as a team, and then we'll get together and we'll bring you down, and then we can give you so you can then know all the history of Porsche, so you can become an expert of that next.
Yeah.
As well.
Let's go.
Well, thank you so much,
Yes,
Ty,
thank
for
you
your
very
time.
much, yeah.
Ty's on social media, and he has his own website. So anybody that wants to see Ty or get in touch, just put in either Chris Cuthbert or Ty Cuthbert, and you can find him and get in touch that way. Thanks so much for your time, Ty.
Thank you.
Thank you.